going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Study Crypto. Today, we're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart and see what's going on with Bitcoin's price. Why is it dropping? How far is it likely to drop? Where's the floor? And more importantly, when is it likely to rebound? But first, before we get into that, do us a big favor. Please hit the like button as well as that subscribe button and ding the notification bell as well. We really do appreciate it. That helps all this information get out to the world. And as always, crypto investing is extremely high risk. So, therefore, only risk what you can afford to lose. And for God's sakes, do your own research. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin. It took a plunge recently. As you can see, it's around 25,000. Okay. And that's to be expected. Why did it take a plunge down to 25,000? Well, the short answer is because we have a lot further to go down, more than likely. If we look at this CME chart, this is the Bitcoin CME futures chart. This is the Bitcoin CME futures. This is Bitcoin being traded on the CME Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two assets in crypto that are traded on the exchange. It's traded on a stock exchange, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Now, what you notice with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is that when Bitcoin trades here, whenever there's a gap, we tend to fill that gap. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look here, here's a gap, for example, on the 25th of March and the 26th. Price always comes down to fill a gap. Why do gaps happen? Well, because Bitcoin, even though it is active 24/7, 365, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is only open Monday through Friday. Because of this, Bitcoin is still actively being traded, but it's not being traded on the exchange. So you're going to have these gaps where the price happens over the weekend. Now, whenever there's a gap, we always tend to see price go back to the gap and fill it before price moves in a different direction. Here's an example of it right here. So there's a gap here on the 23rd of July, 2021. There's a gap, okay? Now, what did price do? It kept on moving for a while and eventually came back down here. It filled the gap and then took off again. Okay. Here, there's another gap. Price came back down and it went more down, but the point is price came back down to the gap. Price always, here's another point where price filled the gap, bounced up, and it's still trended down. Price historically always fills the gap. Okay? We always have a gap. So here's another gap back in 27th, 2020. There was a gap from Friday to Monday. Price went up. And then what did we do? We came back down and we filled this gap. Barely filled it, but we still did fill it. Maybe that was filled enough. Maybe not. Point is, it's good for you to know the gaps always get filled on the exchange. Okay? Now, with that said, why did price come all the way down here? Well, we have a big gap here back from December 2020. Okay? I've had that support line for a very long time. That was a gap. Price gapped, and we haven't filled that gap since then. Price always has to fill the gap. Now, we broke into the gap here on May 12th, and it was questionable or not whether that was enough to satisfy the gap or not. And because we're barely 25% penetration into the gap, it's likely that isn't going to do it. Usually we need more than that. Usually. Not always, but usually. So that's why when you see the Bitcoin come down into here, we're over 75% into this gap. We may have properly filled the gap as it was likely going to get filled at some point. Now, where's price going to go from here? It's hard to say. We don't know. No one has a crystal ball. What I can tell you is this. It's likely we can have a pop up. Okay, it's likely the price goes back up and we fill this gap because we have a new gap. We have a new gap here, right? So we might have to fill that gap. We will have to fill that gap at some point, this gap right here between 27 and 28. That gap is going to get filled. When? We don't know. We might just still be in a downtrend. Okay? Matter of fact, let's look at the math. Let's look at the chart. Because if we look at our 8 EMA, we're going down, right? 8 is under the 21. That's bearish. Very bearish. So we're going down. Next, what do we have? MACD. We're turning bearish, and we're still underneath the midline. This is bearish. Nothing good to talk about there. What else? RSI. We're not overbought yet, or we're not oversold yet. We're not oversold. We're approaching 30. We just crossed underneath 40. That is bearish. We're not oversold yet, so we can go down some more. Next, what else do we got? Well, let's look at the pivots. We're below. We're well below the pivot. We crashed through S1. This might be our next support, ladies and gentlemen, at 23,000. Why wouldn't that surprise me? Well, because there's also, as you can see here, there's a lot of activity at this level, okay, which leads me to believe that's a nice support line right there. So let's put that on the board. Matter of fact, I might have already drawn this earlier. Let me just take a look. Yeah, I didn't go that far down, but we'll add it because it needs to be added. That's a good support line. This S2 area right there, right amongst all of that activity back from December 2020. Okay, that's a good support line. So keep that in mind, right? So we have this support. Okay. Wait, I moved that the wrong way. Yep, there we go. We have this support. Right? We have a support at 23,000. We have some support. So we could drop more, is the point right there. We could drop some more. Drop down to 23,000. If we drop down to 23,000, where's the next stop? Well, like 19,000 because we have some support here. It won't even be at the S3 yet, our support 3 level from the pivots. Again, this is what bots trade off of. So, saying all this to say, we got a long way to go, folks. Long way to go. Long way to go down. We can go down for quite some time. There's nothing keeping us up here. Okay? Let's take a look at the cloud. Is the cloud showing that it's turning over? No. Last cloud is red, bearish. Blue under red, bearish. Price under cloud, bearish. Lag line under price. All just bearish, bearish, bearish. There's nothing here that's saying bullish. There's no bullish reversal in sight. There's nothing. So this is going to go down even more. There's nothing to stop it from a free fall event. All right, so just want to put that out there. So when will we know that we have a reversal on Bitcoin? Right? When will we know that, or at least have some confirmation that Bitcoin is rebounding? Well, this is the key level. right here. There's a gap here, and for it to get up, we need to get past 35. We get past 35, that could be 35,000. That can be an indication of a reversal. Is it guaranteed? No. But that's the only time I would start to consider looking at the market and saying, "Oh, we might be coming out of this trap. We might be coming out of this bearish sideways momentum." Because right now, we're kind of just going sideways, right? We're going kind of sideways since the 11th, have this big dip. Again, don't be surprised if we rebound from here and go back up to 28,000. It's very possible. It's likely even. Okay, so this is where we're at with Bitcoin. It's still all bearish. It's bearish news. Everything is bearish. Don't get it twisted. We have a long way to go, more than likely. Look at Ethereum. Same thing. Ethereum is down to 1,300, right? There's nothing bullish on Ethereum. Okay, so we're in bad shape in terms of the how the market is. So it's a good time to short. It's a good time to stay in cash. It's a good time to short. Don't buy these dips. Wait till it bottoms out. Why buy Ethereum at 1,600 when we could very well go down to 500? Save your money. That's my advice, not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. I'm not buying any dips. I'm going to wait till we get a turnaround and then get back in. Okay? We're not breaking any trends. There's nothing here, folks. We have nada, zilch. No trends. Let's break the trend line here on Bitcoin, right? Red line is the trend line. Let's break the trend and get above here. And then we can talk about something positive in terms of bullish momentum. Let's get above a pivot. Pivot's here. We need to get above the pivot. It's all bad news, folks. All bad news. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy, you think I'm right, you think I'm wrong, you think I don't know what I'm talking about. I just look at the charts. I don't care about the news. I just look at the charts because the news lies. Whether it's mainstream news, Bitcoin news, Ethereum news, it don't matter because it's not moving the chart. The chart's going to let you know what it's going to do. It's going to tell you. Right now, the chart's saying, "Hey, I'm going down, baby. I'm going down, baby," on some Nelly stuff. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Thanks so much. Hey, guys. Thanks so much again for viewing our wonderful video. And please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you found value in this. And please ding the notification bell as well. Thanks so much. See you next time.